There we go. Hello, my friends.
That you should be able to
We
have some more details about
are
soon.
live
I'm a
once again.
screenwriter. My main
Why?
ambition, though, the thing that I would really love to get into is doing voiceover work. I've been trying to take the steps to get into some voiceover. I'd love to do some voiceover potentially
I
for
forgot
games
why
and maybe some
I'm hearing that.
cartoon voiceover. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Jesus. Let me fix that. What is? Sorry, guys. We are live once again. Social Cinema. I have a lot to say. I'm gonna wait till some people get in. I know I don't live stream on my YouTube channel that often. I have a lot to say. So, I miss the solo ranty streams that I usually do. I need to figure out why is Twitch acting like this. If you are joining me, say hi. Let me know you are here. I wanted to come back to these because I love more individual streams where I can be a little bit more ranty and talk to my community. And I have a few stories to cover that I think we'd have a good time talking about. I'm gonna share my links on the stream here very soon because that's where most of my views come from. I'm gonna share my links on the stream from Twitter. So we're just now getting started. If you're joining, say what's up. Let me know what's on your mind, because this is a stream where I just talk to you guys. I guess I should tweet the video out here soon. This is a stream where I just talk to you guys. Here you go. Sorry guys, it's been a while since I streamed on Twitch, so I'm just trying to get everything fixed. If you're watching, say what's up. Say what's up. I got a lot to talk about today. The title and theme of this show will be the class divide on the left, because there are people who think that I am being divisive in what I've been saying recently, and I want to have this opportunity to talk to you guys, see, so I can explain my thought process, because I am about done with the Western left. And this is someone who, I quit my job, volunteered for Bernie Sanders, but we were sold out to the police state. We were sold out to the police state by the progressives. So I'm gonna tweet a link out. Hopefully we get some people to join here soon. I see we already got a few viewers. You guys a little bit shy. See, we got the first comment here. Comrade, how you doing? I need to make sure I get my where the chat at? Hey, someone leave a message so I can see. I'm trying to get the chat to show up on the screen. I didn't see Comrade show up on the screen so everyone can see. But how you doing, Comrade? 28. Oh, there we go. My good friend. There we go. I got the comments on the side here. You guys can see the comments on the lower left-hand screen if you're like watching the replay, or if you're on YouTube, because I am streaming on Twitch and YouTube. I think I want to promote Twitch the most because we already have a pretty big presence on YouTube on Fred Hampton Leftist. How you doing? Am I saying your name correctly? I always say your name. I just always say Leanne Morris. Doris. Sorry, I always screw that. Yep. Fuck Joe Biden. Badass Shrink is here. I appreciate all you guys for watching and supporting Fred Hampton Leftist. I think I'm gonna push, like, I'm streaming on YouTube too, because why not? If someone's more comfortable using YouTube, but I'm mostly tweeting out the Twitch link because I'm trying to move away from YouTube for the most part. Actually, I'm not moving away from YouTube. You guys are gonna see me post video replays on there. So yeah, we had a roundtable. Fred Hampton Leftist is where I usually have guest on, and we have my co-host. I'm trying to get better at letting anyone talk, but this show right here, this is for me. Shout out to Wari Pilgrim. Don't worry, guys. I got some stories we'll get into. I'm just waiting we get some people to roll in here. I know I don't stream that often on my YouTube and my Twitch. Oh, William. So that means I can just call you William then, right? So William is good. QKR, Socialist, on the Twitch side. Glad to see you, my friend. You got to meet with Sabby, right? On that Boston march. And that was the best thing about the Medicare for All marches was everyone forming coalitions together and meeting up locally and forming coalitions. That's what the Medicare for All march did. Because I know in Kansas City, I met up with a lot of Kansas City Green Party people. There was a lot of Kansas City People Party people there. We had Casey Tennis there. We had a lot of different activists who they wasn't even that familiar with each other, but we were just talking and we was game planning a way to improve the local community above all else. Now imagine that happened in all 50 cities that we had this march in. I was worried about that at first. I was worried when we had a Kansas City Green Party and Kansas City People's Party. I was like, man, I hope there's not no ego here. I hope it doesn't become a competition between left groups. That was my fear when it first started, but because I can see the strategy of having two very powerful left-wing parties in America. I could see the benefit that would be. We had the People's Party organizing, improving people's lives, and then you have the Green Party doing the same, and they can coordinate, they can engage in mutual aid efforts together, engage in mass civil disobedience, protests, and all that stuff. That's the vision I see for the left. That's why I want to go down. But anyway, all right, we getting a few people here. So let's dive into our first story. I tweet here I tweet the link because I'm getting ready to do my first segment. We got double digits on Twitch here. Thank you guys for the follow. Once again, I'm on YouTube. I don't care which one you prefer, like whether you watch on YouTube or Twitch. I'm pushing Twitch more because YouTube is a ripoff. But the best way to support my show is through Patreon, as I got a link there down below if you enjoy the stream. And share it if you guys had a chance to help me grow. I see both comments from YouTube and Twitch, so I will try my best to bring those up as I see them. Because my channel, when I'm not on FHL, I do want to make it much more community-driven focus, right? All right, so let's get to the first story. So, here we go. I don't think there is anyone else in left media. Yeah, see, QKR said, I love Twitch because it gives notifications. Yeah, that's another reason I'm moving to Twitch. YouTube, there's a lot of shady stuff, and I learned a lot about YouTube ever since we started Fred Hampton Leftist. Like, we almost had 7,000 subscribers on Fred Hampton Leftist, and that's with them throttling us to death. They were throttling us to death, and we're still growing because we have been right on these issues. What I mean by that, I was warning people about Joe Biden, and I was pushing back against the main narrative that if we vote for Joe Biden, we will be able to push him left. That was the narrative that was coming out of popular bread tubers. That's what they want us to believe because they're comfortable. The idea that we was going to change Joe Biden was beyond hilarious. Especially during the campaign where he was running to Trump's right on law enforcement. He ran to Trump's right on law enforcement and he did not hide it. He also ran to Trump's rights on foreign policy when he was calling Trump out for being weak on Russia, which is a right-wing attack. Because what's the implication there? That you want to ramp up the new Cold War. That you want to ramp up the military-industrial complex, which he has. Boot to the Head is in the house. I'm glad to see my good friend Boot to the Head again. We are rebooting the Twitch Socialist MMA. How are you doing, my friend? I'm doing good because I'm very happy with the success that Fred Hampton Leftist has had. But you guys know I started out just ranting. So I understand, like, some people are like, man, you talk too damn much. And I do. I'm not used to having guests. This is my natural element. You guys saw me. I was on the Fred Hampton Leftist roundtable today. If you guys did not see that, check that out. Go to Fred Hampton Leftist. Check out our roundtable because I was fired up. I got a text from Rome. Oh, never mind. We were discussing some stuff. Rome, rest in peace. My man Rome banned on Twitter. Rest in peace, though. He's still doing good work. So I know QKR saw it. I try to limit my rants. I got some grapes here. Haven't ate much today. I'm trying to get back in shape. Where's Forgivency at? Yeah, Solidarity to Rome. Okay, I need to get back to this story. But you guys know, when I'm on Twitch, I'm having fun. Now that I have FHL, I have a more professional, like a much more professional network where I have like real guests that comes on. I'm much more professional. But now that I'm on my Twitch stream, bro, I don't know way about YouTube stupid ass rules. I don't got no weed right now, but they'll get mad at me just for lying up on stream. It's like, bro, I'm talking to people. Like my anxiety is through the roof when I'm talking to people. I need to light up on stream to do well. They demonetize us for that. Look at my YouTube. Every single one of my videos are demonetized. I can't talk about how the police is a system that upholds white supremacy without getting demonetized. So, what's the point? I still have my YouTube. I got about almost 4,000 subscribers, so I'm not going to kill it. But I think I'd rather just talk shit on Twitch. I'll probably upload the highlights on YouTube. I'm live streaming on YouTube now. My unlisted. Yeah, Sheila said I need to switch over to Twitch for sure. Fuck YouTube. And the thing is, Twitch is not great either. But I am monetized on both. And I definitely get rep off more on YouTube than I do on Twitch. Straight up. So if you're on Twitch, subscribe. That helps. But I put the Patreon link here for a reason, guys. Do you guys really want Twitch and YouTube to get half of the shit? When you want to support the show? I don't want that. So we got the Patreon there. I sacrificed a lot in making Fred Hampton Leftist, guys. Because I was making money on YouTube and Twitch, but I sacrificed that because I believe what we doing at Fred Hampton Leftist is so important. I still cannot believe the lane that the left open for us. Like, there's no independent black voices that are speaking truth to power. Like, you have black voices, but they always tell you the same shit. You have black voices who be like, oh, we gotta vote for Joe Biden though. And it doesn't make sense to me. Before I had a platform, none of this stuff that people will say will make sense to me, bro. But now I finally got a platform in which I can debunk this nonsense. So I'm gonna ask the chat before I get back into the story. You guys watch my show. You guys know how it is. I got a few stories I'm gonna present for you guys. But I always like to talk to you guys and see what's going on that's important that you guys are covering. So my stream is very interactive. So if you guys see any stories that you want to talk about, go ahead. Let's do it. QKR, Adore FHL, and Kame, thanks to you from early on. Thank you. QKR is a true comrade, big friend of the show. I just want to let you know, A1 on FHL loves you, QKR. Because you guys have any idea how hard it is to start out an independent media channel, especially with YouTube suppressing us, especially if you're a black leftist. It's really hard. So the only support we got so far is people who've been sharing the stream, liking the stream. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. How about the income and homeless crisis that will boot to the head? Yeah, let's cover that. I think I got that on the agenda. Because I'm going to talk about the poverty rates and why they're bullshit. So you have millions of people that about to go homeless because the eviction moratorium is about to expire. Meanwhile, you have Joe Biden and the Democratic Party elites and media operatives pushing out the narrative that Joe Biden slashed poverty in half. There we go. Big shout out to Radical Leftist Agenda. Another friend of the show. A1 loves RLA. A1 loves that guy. Always showing mad support. Thank you guys. Okay, I guess I should get back to the story, right? All right, so let's get back to the story. Man, I got a fucking lot of messages. Holy shit. Yeah, I try to answer the my messages for my comrades, but man, I get overwhelmed. I get straight up overwhelmed a lot of times. So anyway, back to the story. So no, it's all good. Radical leftist agenda. We appreciate anyone supporting. Like, I don't know why people think I make a lot of money doing this. I really don't. Like, do you guys understand that there's no money in this? Especially when you're not propping up a Democratic Party. There's no money in this. So any support I get from you guys, I appreciate it. I'm just some guys trying to speak truth to power. So why did Fred Hampton leftists grow? Why am I continuing to get more Twitter followers, for example? Because everything that we are seeing out of the Biden administration is all too predictable. All too predictable. So I was telling people that if the progressives fell in line and gave Joe Biden his landslide victory, what incentive would he have to do anything for our community? What incentive would he have to do anything for the progressive movement? Because he knows he had your votes. There was people who was claiming, oh, well, if the Democratic Party sees that we want to work with us, they'll move to the left. I'm looking at Voss's argument here. And they will adapt to social change, and they'll see the pressure that is being put on to end the kids in cages, etc., etc. That was the message they told us. And that didn't make sense at face value to me. That literally never made sense. And now the Democrats are open about the new strategy. Because what happened, once again, despite what I've been warning people, despite what Ice Cube warned people, if you have black people that vote for Joe Biden, who's one of the most anti-black politicians in modern American history, why would they do anything for black people? Why? They know they have your loyalty. So now what the Democrats are doing, check this out, guys. I think I'll go new scene. Oh, let me actually pull the story up. This is reported in The Intercept. Look at the Democrats' new strategy. Do you guys know why they're doing this? Let me adjust the dimensions. Democrats' new strategy. Knocking the GOP for vote against police funding. Here we go. I'll tweet this segment out. Because this is what we're talking about. And I'm going to get your guys' thoughts on Democrats running as pro-police. Democrats are running as the pro-police party now. This is what happens when black people give up all their leverage and vote for this garbage white supremacist party. So yeah, so the strategy of the Democrats is very simple, because there are a lot of people who had Trump derangement syndrome, especially a lot of white ladies, right? So now their strategy is to appeal to the suburbanite white people who they believe they can steal from the Republican Party. And even at its most unpopular, defund the police was always supported by black people, and 538 showed that. When you ask people, especially black people, what should we spend resources on? The police, or mental health care, schooling, housing, increased wages? Yeah, Arnie, you can ask questions. I'm gonna try, just so I don't break my segment up too much, I'm gonna try to get to the questions after I do my little segment here. You guys know what I mean? I'm gonna present a segment, and then I'm gonna try to go back and answer some of the questions while I'm doing the segment. Is that okay with you guys? Right? That's what I want to do. Just so I don't get off topic too much. So if you guys are watching, keep watching, and I'm gonna answer the questions as they come along. Right? That's what I plan on doing. So this here. Oh, sorry. Let me get myself together. We already seen this in action, haven't we? The Democrats' new midterm strategy, knocking the GOP for vote against police funding. So the Republicans vote against the American Rescue Plan. Actually made it so that you have police that didn't get the funds. So now, since, as I mentioned before, the Democrats know they have the loyalty of black voters, now they can completely run hard pro-police state, because it's all about winning the suburbanite white voters who live in fear. If any on FHL properly breaks down how most white people have no interaction with the police. It's an insane statistic. I'm trying to remember what you said. It's like 90% of white people don't have run-ins with the police throughout the course of the year. Because police, what they do, they operate on broken windows policing. And with broken windows policing, they purposely target disenfranchised communities the most. So white people have no idea how awful the cops actually are and how little they actually protect people. They do know that the cops will keep the undesirable black people out of their community, the Latinos. That's what Amy Cooper did. She wielded her power when she called the police on a black man who inconvenienced her. Anyway, let's dive into the story here. As the 2022 midterms election draws closer, Democrats in Congress are taking on a new strategy, blaming Republicans for voting to defund the police. And according to Democratic aides, the change in messaging is coming straight from the office of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Wow. So it almost like Democrats want to lose, right? Democrats, this accomplishes a few things here. This is manufacturing consent because they want to drive the narrative that defund the police is unpopular and it's not a winning issue. You even have people like Glenn Greenwald that is repeating this nonsense out. I covered on my show before, when people are polled, the way they ask the question is crucial. When polled and when they ask people, do you support the defund the police movement? That's when people say no. Because they have no idea what that means. Even though it should be obvious, they don't know what it means. They do not understand context behind why we ask for police to be defunded. The fact that if you combine the police spending in the United States, it will be the third highest military budget in the world, period. Do people know that? Do people know that the NYPD spent 3 times more on their police budget than North Korea's entire military budget? The small country that we're supposed to be afraid of? When explaining this, I promise you they flip. Now, in the same polls, they ask people, do you support reallocating police budgets to cover things like mental health, housing, increased wages? The support skyrockets to the point where 55% of independents support that. You notice that the mainstream media didn't cover that poll, right? You guys notice that? Because it's all about manufacturing consent. The Democratic Party pretending that defund the police is an unpopular policy that they got distance themselves from, that is also the psyop. Because they get people to think, oh, okay, we can't support this or the Democrats will lose. Once again, as activists, our job should never be to be concerned with the electability of politicians when making our demands. The only concern that we should have is, are we right? Period. Because no matter what public perception says, If we are right, we will win them over through the strength and merits of our ideas. The bus sit-ins was not popular when they first started. The bus sit-ins were not popular. They became popular because they was right on the merits of their argument. That's why when you have the fight for gay marriage, that movement did not start off as popular. When you have women's suffrage, these things do not start off as popular. You would think progressives would know that, but you have a lot of progressives that say, "Oh, defund the police. We can't run on that because it's divisive." No, we make the argument. So we've seen progressives sell us out to the police state because they were demanding black leftists support and vote for Joe Biden, even though he was running to the right. And now the entire party is running on this strategy where they're going to run as the pro-police state. Exactly what I thought would happen. Trump derangement syndrome broke the critical thinking skills of a lot of progressives. Their critical thinking skills was broken so bad. They thought that the person who wrote the crime bill, the person who was 100% okay with what was going on in this police state in our country, who was the vice president under Barack Obama when Black Lives Matter started, that this person was going to roll back the police state? That does not make sense. So when I say that progressives sold out black people to the police state, what do I mean by that? You have Biden, who ran on ending mandatory minimum sentencing for drugs. He backed away on that. Now you have this. Biden said he cut incarceration in half. So far, the federal prison population is growing. What did I warn you people? What did I tell people would happen if you prop up Joe Biden and the Democratic Party? This was exactly why I was warning people. What happened? You gave him the mandate to grow the police state, and he is using that mandate. Let's dive into what it says. So, during his campaign, President Joe Biden pledged repeatedly to reduce the country's prison population, which, because of racist policing and sentencing laws, disproportionately composed of people of color. At one point, he said his administration could cut the number of incarcerated people by more than half. So, you guys understand how crazy I was going throughout the course of the election when I heard Jim Crow Joe say crazy shit like that and I knew he was lying? Meanwhile, the progressives was backing that up like, "Yo, come on, man, we got to get rid of Trump. We can put Biden left. We can make sure that he is following his campaign promises." How's that going? How is that going for you? The progressives sold black people out to the police state. Progressives sold out Latinos and other immigrants to ICE, Haitian immigrants and such. They sold out the Palestinian people to the apartheid state of Israel. Because the same people who was claiming they will be on the front lines pushing Biden left, what are they doing right now? The people are like, "Oh, we gonna push Biden left." They are spending their time attacking activists for being mean to their politicians instead. The progressive movement literally gave us a con of a lifetime. The entire push Biden left was probably the most poorly aged political ideas I've ever seen in my entire life. It's so bad to the point where the people not even pushing Biden left, they are being class loyal. And with that said, I'm going to talk about that Bernie video. But that's going to be our next segment. Let me get to some questions, guys. Woo! Let's get to some questions. Let's see what I missed. And if you are watching, feel free to leave more comments. I love to read them. Um, is there any? Yeah, Arnie was asking. We asked any questions. Yeah, I'm gonna just address some comments. I guess I'll go in order. Um, William, I'll just call you William now. Doris, we lead the world in prisons, incarcerated per capita. That's why I have literally no tolerance for people who want us to fearmonger over other countries. They recently did this to Cuba. Well, it was like, oh well, Cuba, they got to make sure they are respecting the rights of protesters. Meanwhile, Cuba did not poison gas any of their protesters. It was America who did that. America always say, oh, you have X country, you got Russia, you got Venezuela, you got China. They must respect human rights. Ignoring the fact that we jail 1/4 of the world in America. So how dare we say that to other countries? Yeah, QKR, Aaron Mate was on FHL. See, there's a lot of great people that jump on FHL. I didn't even get a chance to talk to Aaron Mate. Like, I would love to have a in-depth foreign policy conversation with Aaron Mate. I had a chance to talk to Max Blumenthal, someone who I looked up to a lot. And I honestly think that was my best work. A lot of people love our conversation. We definitely got to do it again because me and Max Blumenthal, we can talk about foreign policy like all day. All day. I love those long form policy based conversations. And I'm really hoping I can get Bree on here soon. But she's very busy. Hopefully we get that situated. Thank you for the subscription. Defund the Empire 2. See, I already like your name. I already know we're gonna get along. Defund the Empire? There's nothing more important than defund the Empire. It doesn't make people sick that our taxpayer money is being used to bomb brown people overseas, that is used to fund multiple genocides. People wonder why I'm anti-imperialist. That's exactly why. I don't want to be complicit with this shit. At all. So, QKR said a little bit earlier, he said, it seems Dems are fully abandoning the black community, knowing that they are losing automatic votes, especially as young people move to a radical left. The role of the Democratic Party is to maintain the status quo. First and foremost. You guys heard the ratchet effect? The Republicans shift over to window extremely far to the right, then the Democratic Party takes over, and then they just maintain what they started. There's nothing that describes the Joe Biden administration even more. Remember, Donald Trump's ICE was apparently the worst thing that this country has ever seen. Then Joe Biden takes over ICE, and he funds it more. And under Joe Biden's ICE, they will call implementing slave labor. They was called literally massively sexually assaulting immigrants. They was called force feeding migrants in their detention centers who was going on hunger strike. You guys know why they was going on hunger strike? These people in these ICE facilities, their conditions were so bad, and they were so afraid because of the COVID pandemic. Not only were people catching COVID, they wasn't getting proper medical treatment. It was completely unsanitary. It was literally a violation on human rights in all orders based on how you treat a migrant seeking asylum. So it was so bad they started going on hunger strike to protest that. And you know what ICE did? The ICE actually started force feeding people who was going on hunger strike. And that's Joe Biden's ICE. That's how the ratchet effect worked. Trump goes in and ramps up our immoral prison industrial complex system even worse. And then we get a Democrat like, we can't be too radical. We can't change it too much. What does that remind you of? You had George Bush Jr., who took over and completely destabilized the Middle East with unhinged policies. They had a massive tax cut for the rich. You had Bush Jr., just horrific president. Then Barack Obama takes over and he extends the Bush tax cuts. He extends his wars. That's the ratchet effect. Why don't people understand this when I explain to them that there is no route to progressive change in the Democratic Party? We are seeing it right now. I think this is a good transition. I get to rest of your guys. If you guys have any questions on Mitch, just please just repeat it. I got a lot of comments we got to shift through. But hopefully I didn't miss any comments here. Let me know. But let's talk about Bernie. You guys see the Bernie Sanders clip that going around right now? Oh man. And once again, I quit my job, donated, canvassed, did all this stuff for Bernie. Bernie Sanders and the Western left has been a giant disappointment. Explaining here live. Okay, I think that's good enough. So let me find the Bernie Sanders video, and if you haven't seen it, we're gonna react live, right? This is anyway. This is the story I was talking about. I didn't even show this. But you see this? Report ICE detainees on hunger strikes subject to force feeding. This is when they was going on strike because of their conditions. We all know that because of the Freedom of Information Act, by the way. Where are the people? Where are the liberals who was saying abolish ICE and was extremely pro-immigrant during Trump? This is the problem. You have progressives and you have liberals who are only immigration activists when you have a Republican in charge. You have them. They only pro-black when you have Trump in charge. You had them amplifying the messages of Black Lives Matter. The only reason they was amplifying that message was because they knew it would hurt Trump. And the second that Trump lost, now they're running as the pro-police state party. Crazy. Let's find a Bernie Sanders clip. It's still unbelievable. Like, I've been calling out Bernie and the squad for well over a year now. But it's still unbelievable. This betrayal is still unbelievable. So Crystal, like, pins Bernie to the wall here. And she wasn't even trying. Like, if you had, like, imagine a Finney. Imagine me. Imagine Jimmy Dore. Imagine anyone who had the opportunity to grill Bernie Sanders about Joe Biden. Crystal Ball was really nice. Discussing Bernie Sanders' horrific interview with Crystal Ball. Bernie picked a side. He chose Joe Biden over us. Okay. Yeah, William said, yeah, he trying to toe the line for Biden. Remember what I said, guys? I don't know if I can find this tweet. Maybe I should. I think it's very important so people understand my mindset. Because I was very nice and charitable to Bernie Sanders and the squad. Now people know me as the guy, as like, obviously there's Dore, but in terms of Twitter, I'm like the guy calling progressives in the Western left out. But people don't understand how much benefit of the doubt I gave them. Like, even after them sheep herding people to support Joe Biden, my take was, oh, we about to watch the clip, Sheila. Don't worry, we about to watch the clip. Cause there's about a 2-minute clip from the Bernie Sanders Crystal Ball interview that says it all. Even when Bernie Sanders was sheep herding people to support the Democratic Party in Joe Biden, I wasn't even as livid as a lot of progressives was because I understood his role. Like, all right, whatever. He's weak, but he agreed that he would support the nominee. But then I said in the tweet, I sent this around October and November. I said that, okay, Bernie and the squad being weak on Joe Biden, that sucks. But if they were doing that just to get rid of Trump, and then they want to put a lot of pressure on Joe Biden and the Democratic Party once they get in charge, I can see that as a legitimate strategy. So I told people, like, I'm willing to forgive Bernie, AOC, and the squad if Joe Biden was elected. They became his number one enemy, not Marjorie Taylor Greene. Right now, the number one enemy of the Democratic Party is Kristen Sinema. What? The way liberals hate Kristen Sinema right now is how liberals should hate AOC and Bernie Sanders. I'm talking about the people who are more Democratic Party loyalists than they care about the people. It should be Bernie Sanders, AOC, and the squad getting all the negative media attention instead of Kristen Sinema because they stand up to their party. But they're not. I wanted them to be the ones who lead the impeachment charge against Joe Biden if he bombs other countries. Now, what I'm asking for was obviously laughable and unrealistic. But I told you guys that this is the means in which I will personally forgive them. If they challenge Joe Biden and they shifted the Democratic Party to the left, got some major concessions, and they continue to raise hell. Like, I literally tweeted, I was like, if Joe Biden commits a war crime, I want Bernie Sanders to lead the impeachment charges. Is that happening? It's the exact opposite of that. Instead of them being the number one enemy of the Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders, AOC, and the squad, they are the biggest boon to the Democratic Party ever. Ever. Because you have people who will otherwise be turned off from the party. You have young people who otherwise care about the issues, who don't care about these issues because Bernie Sanders, AOC, they don't talk about it. Now, with that said, let's show this crystal ball clip so you guys know what I'm talking about. Because it's bad. It's bad. And once again, I gave Bernie Sanders a lot of benefit of the doubt. Period. A ton of benefit of the doubt. But this clip is unforgivable.
He is prepared to deal with. I have not seen a president in my lifetime who has done that. Am I wrong?
I see that perspective, but I also see a president who's willing to let a lot of those agenda items be killed by the filibuster and the parliamentarian.
Right. Well, but again, I don't want to defend him. I think the point you made a few minutes ago is exactly right. In this critical moment, when we're dealing with the future of the planet, when we're dealing with the future of democracy, you know what? I think majority should rule and not the. I believe that strongly. But don't think that he can snap his fingers, no matter what he may or may not believe, and make things happen.
What?
All right, there are senators.
There are certain things he could do, though, through executive, for example, canceling student debt.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There are things he can do.
Legalizing marijuana,
yes.
he could potentially do through an executive order. And so there hasn't been.
So let's be clear about what just happened here. I'm not going to stop it too many times, but I don't want to mince words here. This is Crystal Ball calling out Bernie Sanders for lying to you. So what Bernie Sanders is hoping will happen is that people don't know what the president could do. This is a blatant lie on behalf of Bernie Sanders. Because he talked about what he would do as president. And Crystal Ball is going to bring that up here very soon. So Bernie Sanders, he tried to lie to you when he said, oh, Biden, he had good intentions, but what can he do? Come on. What can he do? This is the lie that Bernie will try and tell you, but Crystal pushes back. Let's continue the video. I rewind it just a little bit. I rewind it because I want you guys to see Bernie tried to lie to us. And then this was a MSNBC commentator. And this is why you don't see Bernie Sanders in the squad and them going on independent news. Because if this was MSNBC, they would have let that go. They would be like, yeah, what can Biden do? What can he do? You're right, Bernie. But Crystal Ball being better than the average corporate media talking head, right? He pushes back and Bernie has to concede because he realized he was caught lying. Hope you guys realize what that was. Let's go back to the clip. I'll rewind it just a little bit.
When we're dealing with the future of democracy, you know what? I think majority should rule and not the. I believe that strongly. But don't think that he can snap his fingers, no matter what he may or may not believe, and make things happen.
He
there are senators.
There are certain things he could do, though, through executive, for example, canceling student debt.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There are things he can do.
Legalizing marijuana,
yes.
he could potentially do through an executive order.
Bernie.
And so there hasn't been a willingness, even though he says, yes, I support the $15 minimum wage. Yes, I support the PRO Act, to use all the tools that are at his disposal to actually make those things happen.
You're absolutely sure of that?
Is that fair?
No. I mean, in other words, you do not know about the discussions that he has with people who walk into his office.
Okay.
No,
what the This is shocking. What and the tweet that went viral, they said like, when have you ever seen Bernie squirm like this? This is a dishonest politician in the wild that we are watching right now. Oh, I don't know about that. He's lying. And at this point, you guys realize that when he is saying this nonsense, when he's like, oh, I don't know if you're sure about that. That's him spinning in his head, trying to figure out how to get out of this lie that he just built. I want you guys to realize that. There is so much to break down in this clip. This is only a 2-minute. Check out the whole full interview with Krystal Ball. But this 2 minutes tells exactly what I've been trying to explain to you people. About what is wrong with the weak Western left and these privileged leaders that are willing to sell us out. Before I did this story, I just did a story about how Biden is propping up the prison industrial complex. You would think that would be something that Bernie will be very active in speaking out against, right? Nope. Cancel the student loan debt. Nope. Apparently not that big of a deal for Bernie. This breaks my heart, guys. Like, I don't take there is nothing about me enjoying this moment. I guess the only enjoyment I have is for being right. And I'm waiting for people to apologize for me about being right when they got mad at me. That's the only satisfaction, I guess, is I was right. But you guys understand how much I sacrificed for this man? You guys understand how I quit my job and traveled multiple countries and canvassed for this guy? Now I'm like, second guessing myself. Is like, bro, even if he won, will he just govern like this? I feel like a fool, to be honest. I'm gonna answer the question about do I regret it after we watch the clip. I don't want to get off topic too much, but I already paused this twice. I'm gonna try to finish the rest of the video, but it's really hard for me to finish these things. I rewind it a little bit and let's continue on.
Even though he says, yes, I support the $15 minimum wage. Yes, I support the PRO Act, to use all the tools that are at his disposal to actually make those things happen.
You're absolutely sure of that?
Is that fair?
No. I mean, in other words, you do not know about the discussions that he has with people who walk into his office. Okay. No, it's wrong to assume.
So what Bernie is telling you is shut the fuck up and trust the plan. I said it before. Do not trust any politician whose message to you is shut up and trust the plan. Period. That is what Bernie is telling Krystal. Shut up, trust the plan. You don't know what we're doing behind the scenes. What happened to not you, us, Bernie? It went from not me, us. It went from not me, us to not y'all Democrats. And no, you guys gotta stay out of the conversation. Trust me, I'm having great conversation with Joe Biden behind the scenes. Trust me. Who buys this shit?
That when you're dealing with a United States senator who does not want to end the filibuster, that he can go in there and say, hey, I want you to do that. Now, so don't give the president.
Although he could do what you proposed when you were asked on the trail, how would you deal with Senator Manchin? You said, I go to West Virginia. I'd do the rally. Yeah. I'd call him out.
Right. I mean, there are things you could do. All that I'm saying, do not minimize. I mean, and I don't want to get into personalities, but
sure.
Any member of the United States Senate has the power to kill this thing. And to think that the president alone can change that is not 100% correct.
Sure. But there are executive actions that he could take on student debt and other things that he could do. We can agree on that.
I am
right?
not, yes. Yeah.
Look, you guys see this. Actually, let me play this in full. I want to play this part in full. What the fuck happened to my mouse? Bro, why did my mouse disappear? Come on, man. But this is shocking stuff, isn't it? What the fuck is my mouse? Oh, Jesus. Give me a second, guys. Why did my mouse disappear? I can't even see it. Man, that's beyond annoying. I can see where the mouse is. Like, you guys see my screen, right? Like, what the fuck is my mouse? This shit just like broke. Man. Okay. I don't know where the fuck my mouse went. I'm gonna try to deal with it. Like, I can't see the cursor. Do one of y'all tech people know what the hell is that about? Like my mouse, like I can click stuff, but my mouse like disappeared. Like I can't fucking see it on the screen. Oh Jesus. Anyway, let's see if I can find a way.
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
I mean, that's how it ends. But my point I was about to make, man, I gotta figure out what the fuck is going on with my mouse. Try Alt Tab. Like my mouse is fucking disappeared. You know how hard it is to do a live stream when I don't see my goddamn mouse? Nope. Jesus Christ, man. This doesn't make sense. Like, why is my mouse gone? Yeah, QKR said my mouse does that. I never know why. It comes back. Yeah, I don't even have a mouse. I'm talking about like I'm on the laptop. Like my mouse cursor like disappeared, and it makes doing this stream really, really hard. Jesus, what the fuck? That's crazy. I don't know how to get my mouse back. Now I'm like clicking blindly here. See, look, there we go. It's back. It's back. My mouse just randomly came back. I don't know what that was about. But okay, now that my mouse is working, let's rewind this for about 15 seconds. And I want to explain something to you guys here that says a lot. So let's watch the end of this clip again, and I'm going to continue my point I was about to make before my mouse got lost.
There are things you could do. All that I'm saying, do not minimize. I mean, and I don't want to get into personalities, but
Sure.
Any member of the United States Senate has the power to kill this thing. And to think that the president alone can change that is not 100% correct.
Sure. But there are executive actions that he could take.
All right, look,
student debt and other things that he could do. We can agree on that.
I am
right?
not, yes. You know,
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
Do you guys know? You guys want to know why that ending is so? Why it says a lot? See, that ending says a lot because you realize that once Bernie realized he was wrong and he been pressed and he been called out on his lies that he's not used to when he go on MSNBC when he's coming for Democrats, he gets annoyed. Bernie Sanders got annoyed at Crystal Ball there. Because Crystal Ball is something that corporate news would never do. See, the thing is, Bernie Sanders is great at debunking right-wing talking points coming from right-wing talking heads. I'm talking about on CNN and MSNBC and Fox News. He is really good at debunking that. But Bernie Sanders is awful at answering to criticisms on his left. And Crystal, once again, wasn't even trying. I promise you, if you get me, if you put a Finney, if you put a lot of these fire breathers I know, Bernie Sanders will rage quit the interview. Because I will call him out like, what do you get for Joe Biden? You say you're to cancel student loan. Like, once again, there's so many other ways that you could have went after him. And Crystal Ball did a great job because she did something you never see anyone do. Like asking these hard questions, following up, not allowing the BS. And Bernie literally just quits. He's like, sorry, this is BS. He's like, whatever. And then throughout the interview, he was like, oh, well, I'm not trying to defend Joe Biden. Yes, that's what you're doing. It's literally what you're doing. You are literally doing the thing that you say you're not trying to do. So Bernie became annoyed once he realized that he was talking to someone who was not about to allow him to lie. What does that say about the character of Bernie Sanders? I promise you, like, if you give me, a Finney, a chance to talk to Bernie, he will rage quit that interview so quick. Because Crystal was being very, very nice to Bernie there. Holding his hand. And she still made him look dumb. She still exposed him. Because I would ask them, hey, Bernie, their Medicare for All marches that happened last weekend, where the fuck was you? Remember when you said on the campaign, what Crystal Ball did there was great because she literally brought up what Bernie said on the campaign. Bernie on the campaign said, okay, if I have senators who are not willing to go across my agenda, there is ways that the president can use political pressure to get these people to fall in line. And if they don't fall in line, okay, we're going to hold rallies and we're going to have massive pressure against you. Is Joe Biden doing that to Kristen Sinema? Is he doing that to Joe Manchin? No. because he loves what they're doing. Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin gives Joe Biden the excuse not to do shit. They give him the excuse to uphold the status quo, which Joe Biden wants. So now Bernie Sanders, who accurately described how do you twist these people's arms, all of a sudden he don't know how? And then Crystal Ball points out, this is what you said in the campaign. And you see, he got annoyed. He got shut down. This is someone who's a bad faith actor would do. This is what they would do if you're a bad faith actor. It kills me, guys. What I say in the beginning of the segment. Beginning of the segment, I said, I would have forgave. And there are a lot of people that outflanked me to my left on this. Who was like, hell no, Nick, you tripping. I said I don't want to forgive Bernie Sanders, AOC, and the squad for caping for fucking Joe Biden if they put pressure on him during his administration. That's what I said. They can't even do that. And you got the privileged progressive left that's mad at me for calling these people out. They can't even do the bare minimum, which I said I will forgive you for voting for the guy and for advocating for the guy who did more damage to the black community than anyone else. I'm talking about Joe Biden, who is now selling us out to the police state because you gave him the permission to. You guys gave him permission to. Now the Democratic Party is running on giant police budgets. They was asked about, hey, you support funding the police more? Yeah, we ran. There was Jen Psaki said. She said we literally ran on funding the police more. We won, so we got the mandate to do that. Bernie Sanders and the progressive movement sold out black people to the police state, and then you have the white managerial class who calls us divisive for calling it out. We are called divisive for calling them out for funding the police more. We are called divisive for them not supporting reparations. We are called divisive because they are complicit with funding the police. They're not saying anything about ICE. Let me get to some comments. Jesus fuck. Like, that video is so depressing, guys. So depressing. Especially now, after that video, actually, to me, what killed everything was like, bro, the second the squad coordinator votes to fund the police more, at that point, I don't want to hear shit from y'all anymore. Like, at that point, you guys are no longer representing us. So then you have the privileged managerial left who get mad at the poor, disenfranchised community that are going after their favorite politicians because we're not being represented. You have people that say, oh, how dare you have people at the Medicare for All march mad at AOC and Bernie because they didn't come to your march? Are you saying that we shouldn't be mad at politicians for not fucking backing us up? Is that your argument, bootlicker? Is that really the argument that you guys are making? How dare the Medicare for All march activists call out AOC and Bernie? We donated to them. We volunteered for them. We advocated for them. And you guys saying that we can't be mad at them? And no one see the class issue with there. No one see how that's problematic. Really. The left. And people wonder why I'm mad at the Western left. I think that's that segment. I think that's the end of the segment. Man. Jesus Christ. I'm going to get into some comments. Let's get into some comments. I know. Let me run to the restroom real quick, guys, and I'll get to the comments. Like, I'm about an hour in. I drank a lot of water. I'll be right back, and I'll answer some comments and answer your guys' questions. Okay, leave some questions. I'll be right back. Won't take too long. See, I wasn't even going that long. Some of y'all already was like, hell no, I'm dipping out. I wasn't even gone that long. Yeah, so let's read some comments. And I have fun. Like I cannot believe we are an hour in already, man. This is why I love. This is why I miss my old show, man. This is why I miss the solo show that we do. Because on Fred Hampton Lefties, I gotta let my guests talk. I gotta let my co-host talk. Now, when you're on the Socials MMA Twitch, when you're on the Socials MMA YouTube, you're getting me raw and unfiltered. I want to be more professional for Fred Hampton Lefties, but here you getting my straight up hood opinions. I love the solidarity that I see in the chat right now. Once again, Doris, big shout out to you, man. Radical Leftist Agenda, OD Gaming, QKR. I love all you guys, but these are people that have been supporting me for a very long time. Also, I want to give a special shout out to Roxanne Marquez on YouTube. Big supporter of the show. Big shout out to you, my friend. What comments did I miss while I was ranting? Leslie Wheeler is on the YouTube side. Leslie was saying, I am still hoping for student debt forgiveness to some degree. I'm desperate. I hope so too. I did not want this shit to fail. I didn't want the whole push buy and left shit to fail. It just was obvious it was going to. I want nothing more than like the progressives to shine. Like I want them to do well. Like when I rail against the privileged Western left, it's like I don't do that because I want to. I do that because you guys are leaving us behind. When we've said we need Medicare for all, like it's not like we need it in 10 years. We need that shit right now. And by you or not, and by the progressive army not doing everything it takes to make that happen, you are selling us out. Jesus Christ. So, do you guys want to do the roast of Nancy Pelosi? Who want to do the roast of Nancy Pelosi? Thank you, Radical Leftist Agenda, for your great comment. Yeah, we all roast Nancy Pelosi, right? Leslie said I started following you after you did that interview with Jordan Charlton of Status Quo. Is that the interview on FHL, Fred Hampton Leftist? I got a lot of love for Status Quo and Jordan Chariton. I always say his last name wrong. Because you guys realize that Jordan Chariton was the first person to ever give me a platform. Period. I was in South Carolina canvassing for Bernie Sanders, and that's when I met Jordan. He was the first guy. Like everyone on Twitter saw what I was doing. I was canvassing. I was talking to people, sharing their stories, debunking neoliberal talking points. But I'm raw. Like people didn't want to talk to me, but Jordan was there on the ground. I remember he made a tweet with like, "Hey y'all, I'm in South Carolina. Is there any activists that I should talk to?" And then I love like everyone in the thread was like, "Hey, talk to Socialist MMA. Talk to Nick. Talk to Socialist MMA." Much love to the fam, man. We in this together. Let's do a Nancy Pelosi roast, and then that'll be the last story of the day. The official roast of Nancy Pelosi. Let's see if I can find the video that made her trend. Because Pelosi even made the shitlibs mad because of this. Because, once again, canceling student loan debt is extremely popular. You got a lot of privileged shitlibs who want to cancel student loan debt. Right? So when they see Pelosi come out against it, they're like, what the fuck? Don't get me wrong, they're still going to be loyal. They're still going to be loyal to Nancy Pelosi no matter what because they're in a cult. But look at this. I think I got the video now. Did I tweet the Nancy Pelosi roast out? Sorry, I know I tweet a lot during my stream, but I looked at the analytics, and the only way I get views is through Twitter. Like, the algorithm is not going to help me, guys, so that's why I do it. Okay, here's the video. Do you guys want to see the video? Jesus. I almost don't even want to watch it, man. I already seen it. We played it on FHL today. It's really, really hard to watch. I'm asking, like, do you guys want to see it? I don't know if I even want to play the video. Oh fuck! As a citizen journalist, I can't assume that everyone's seen the video. So I gotta do the right thing and watch the video again. Fuck, this is gonna hurt because it's like if you didn't see this video, I don't want you to like still on the stream and be pissed off because y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm sorry guys, but we gotta watch the 70 seconds of hell once again. We gotta watch. There's about to be 70 seconds of hell, but we gotta do it. We gotta do it.
The President of the United States has the power for debt forgiveness. He does not. He can postpone, he can delay, but he does not have that power. That has to be an act of Congress. And I don't even
like these people just lie, bro. That's not true.
Implies a transgression. It's not to be forgiven. Just freeing people from those obligations. So the question of who gets forgiven, to use the term of art that is out there, is a debate. Do we use whatever money there is for the broadest base of support of those with more people with even less debt or fewer people with more debt? That's a policy discussion. But the difference between the president can't do it. So that's not even a discussion. Not everybody realizes that, but the president can only postpone, delay, but not forgive.
So there are people with Trump derangement syndrome that say, oh, we got to get rid of Trump because Trump is a liar. Trump is a liar. That's why we got to support war criminals. We got to support white-collar criminals like Nancy Pelosi and the Democrat Party because Trump is lies like we never seen before. When I gave my speech at the Medicare for All rally, I made a simple point, and then the crowd largely agreed with me. I told them that when you have Joe Biden and you had Nancy Pelosi that says stuff like, we can't have Medicare for all because we can't afford it, because it's not popular. My question to these people is, how is that lie any different than any lie that Donald Trump tells? When you hear Nancy Pelosi go up there and tell people a lie that the president cannot cancel student loan debt, how is that any different from any lie that Trump told? This is why Trump derangement syndrome never made sense to me. Because as someone who hate all politicians, who was radicalized against the system, I saw Donald Trump as just one more of the same. More of the same. The idea that Donald Trump is more corrupt than Nancy Pelosi, who made millions in public service, that doesn't make sense to me. And then when I was calling people out for it, I realized I was justified in my position because people will block me instead of explaining this stuff. People are like, oh, we got to vote for Joe Biden because we got to fight white supremacy. And I'm like, how the fuck does that make sense when it's the Democrats who are funding the police, which is a force of oppression of white supremacy? Guess what state George Floyd died in? He died under Democratic Party control watch. Guess what state implemented stop and frisk? That was a blue city. So how does it make sense for you guys to tell me that we are fighting white supremacy by voting for Jim Crow Joe and the Democrats that uplift and uphold white supremacy? How does that make sense? It doesn't. So they block you instead. Now, the argument that Pelosi is making, how is she different than a Republican? Because she was like, oh, we can't cancel our student loan debt because what if we already have family that helped pay off the loan debts of their kids? Now you're going to force them to pay for the student loan debt of other people? There has never been a more powerful right-wing talking point than that. Because you guys know what I don't want to pay for? I don't want to pay for the military. I don't want to pay for the police. But we have to because we live in a fucking society. Now, that's why my position as a libertarian socialist is I don't believe in government programs unless they justify themselves. Medicare for All is a program that justifies itself. Canceling student loan debt justifies itself because study after study after study shows that it will boost the economy because you give spenders more money. Not only do you give spenders more money, these are the people that are the prime spending age. You have people that age 20, about 25 to 45, who are just getting out of college, who get in their profession, starting to make money. So what sense does it make when you take them out of the spending pool by getting them loaded with debt? So when you cancel student loan debt, that's a program that justifies itself. You know what doesn't justify itself? What doesn't justify itself is giant police budgets. How does giant police budget justify itself? You got people spending a ton of money on police, and then you got crime spikes. They don't prevent violent crime. You know what else doesn't justify itself? The giant bloated military spending budget, where we spend more than the next 10 countries combined. And then when the veterans who fight these immoral wars for you, when they come home, they kill themselves because you guys don't allocate those resources to take care of these people. Sean, I gotta breathe. Nancy Pelosi is beyond disgusting. And Nancy Pelosi voters are the biggest, lowest info voters in politics, period. I'm tweeting that. Actually, this is the thing. San Francisco is a district. I think someone mentioned that their median income is like $140,000. So once again, if you're not framing everything in the context of the class war, you are not talking about politics correctly. So Nancy Pelosi voters are class loyal. They send Pelosi to Congress because they know that she will represent their interests. She will fight against Medicare for All. She'll fight against canceling student loan debt. She will fight the homelessness, which they do in California. Nancy Pelosi is a ghoul. And now you have people like Nancy Pelosi coming out against student loan debt cancellation. You have Joe Biden that's refusing to cancel student loan debt. So I want to propose to you guys, how is pushing Biden and the Democratic Party left going for you guys? How is it going? They are dragging the progressives to the right. The progressives did not shift the Overton window. They shifted what it meant to be a socialist to the right. Now you have people who call themselves socialists who support the capitalist, warmongering, white supremacist Democratic Party because of Bernie Sanders, because of AOC. So pushing the Democrats left, the idea that Vosh wanted to argue, was probably the most poorly aged political ideas of all time. Now, this is what friend of the show, amazing commentator, did what Brianna Joy Gray had to say. So the Senate gave the Pentagon an $82 billion boost. More, right? And Bree points out it only costs $81 billion to cancel all medical debt. Do not let them convince you that this money is not here. Therefore, expand the military budget, and then they will look at you right in your face and say, oh, nope, we can't cancel student loan. We can't cancel medical debt. Yep, just like Sheila said, I see she left a comment here. Instead of pushing Biden left, they're punching to the left. They're calling out people who are not nice enough to their politicians. They are defending their politicians for not forcing a vote on Medicare for all. So we just playing a clip where Nancy Pelosi is complicit with arguing against canceling student loan debt. Now my question is, what the fuck did the squad get for their vote for Nancy Pelosi? What did they get? Did they get the committee assignments they wanted? Nope. They didn't even get the committee assignments they wanted. Hell, in fact, Katie Porter got pulled from the financial committee she was on. Because she, who is, in my opinion, too far to the right, she was too hard on Wall Street. And they pulled her from the healthcare committee. So what do you guys get for all the people who advocated for voting for Nancy Pelosi? Because if you are against forced to vote, that means you are by de facto pro voting for Nancy Pelosi. What do you get? You got someone who is advocating against your policy ideas. Strongly advocating against your policy ideas. So not only did we not get an opportunity to have this robust discussion and debate on Medicare for all, which would have happened, now we got to deal with Nancy Pelosi again. Yep, the squad is proud of the lollipops they got. Okay, let me get to some comments. I know you guys probably popping off. So let's get some comments. Let's spend the next 15 minutes of this 90-minute show. Let's have some fun. We can go through some Twitter stuff, see what we missed. I still got like 3 stories saved that we're gonna cover, but I talked too goddamn much. So in order to be more consistent on my shows, I'm just gonna say these. I'm gonna save my rest of my stories for tomorrow. I think I'm going on some comedians podcast tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna be. I'll be back live tomorrow to discuss the stories I didn't cover. But for now, let's have some fun. This is why I enjoy Twitch. This is why I enjoy YouTube. So if you guys have any comments, any questions, let me know. We can address that at the end of the show. Now I wish it was a Jagoff comedian. I actually don't know the guy. Like, I agreed to come on the show. I actually don't remember his name. I can find it. Yeah, Radical Leftist Jen said, I love when you go live alone. And you say you love FHO too? Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's 2 different styles. Like, when I have FHO, I have guests on all the time. I have hosts. I gotta, like, make sure they speak. But I think I do my best show when I go solo. I also think my best show is when it's like me and someone like Max Blumenthal who can just shoot the shit and talk about foreign policy. So I'm gonna go through some of these questions, some of these comments. If you guys have any, like, I said a 90-minute timeline, but if you guys leave some good comments and good questions, we can go a little longer. But 90 minutes is usually the timeline. See, we get some follows. Thank you for the new follow, guys. And once I start becoming more consistent, because it's my fault because I don't upload on my channel like I should because there's no money in this. But as I become more consistent, we'll get more people in here. No doubt in my mind. Because like my Twitch was a ghost town for like 2 months. My YouTube been ghost town for a long time, but it's not going to be like that all the time. Now that FHL is actually taking off and we are like a network that is producing great content all the time without me holding the hand, now I can start like branching out and doing more of these individual shows that I hope you guys enjoy. And if you do enjoy the show, like, once again, I prefer Twitch because you guys get notification for Twitch, and YouTube does a lot of shade stuff in terms of suppressing us that I'm sure Twitch is responsible for too. But if you really want to support my citizen journalism and what I do, like, please help me out on Patreon. And my Cash App, my Venmo is exactly the same here. Social Cinema. Like, that stuff right there helps me out a lot. William said, Nick, if you ever interview me, you can take the safety off. Yeah, we gotta have a conversation. Our conversation is long overdue, William. It's gonna happen. Yeah, I love this comment by QKR. They said we're Nick's therapist for his political rants. Yep, that's probably the best explanation of my Twitch I ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna lie. Cause I'll be on other people's show. I'll be ranting like, man, I feel bad, man. I was on Heartlands Media and they got like a rapid fire news show, and I was like, bro, I'm not made for this. I had to pause, like, I'm sorry that I am ranting my ass off, but this is what I do. Thank you for the support, Sugar. Thank you for the nice comment that you left. Yeah, OD Gaming said I watch all the FHL shows. Thank you guys for showing support to Fred Hampton Left. Is like, the people who watch my old Twitch shows and YouTube show knows that always been my project I wanted. Like back when I had my old show, back when we had the Black Rose Brigade leftist panel, I told you guys I wanted to start a black centered network where you have black leftists who are uncensored. Right? So I just love that that QKR said that you guys like therapists for me, because that's what it is. Because I read all the comments, like, you guys talk me through this stuff too, so I'll be reading your comments, see what you guys agree and what you guys disagree with. So I love these, so I'm going to try to do these much more often. Like, I took, like, honestly, like 3 months off, like 3-4 months off on doing my shows, because I was so invested in making sure FHL took off. And now we gained so many subscribers. We got so many love for so many different people. We booked so many high level guests that I support, that I respect. Like we just talked to Aaron Mate. Like RJ and Jackie just did an interview with Aaron Mate. Like this is great stuff, man. Oh, we got a question from Leslie Wheeler. Do you give your opinion about the January 6th hearing? Oh my God. Thank you for that question. I was one of the first people on the left that was calling out the bullshit of January 6th. And I took a lot of heat from it. Like, my whole political career so far and being a citizen journalist has been me taking the hard stances and me being vindicated later. I'm like, bro, January 6th is a fucking joke, guys. Now I'm starting to see more people on the left are starting to have the bravery of saying that, because there were a lot of people who didn't want to say it because they didn't want to be smeared as, oh, you're sympathetic to the right wing. You guys know me. I don't give a fuck. If I feel like I'm right, I'm right. Like Leslie, no. Like QKR just said, buckle up, because you said the magic word. You talking about January 6th. January 6th is a fucking fraud. And the fact that anyone give legitimacy to the fear mongering that goes along with it, they are jokes. You guys realize what January 6th was, right? January 6th was a bunch of white people who was mad that Donald Trump lost. So they got together and they threw a tantrum at the Capitol. And then the Capitol Police was complicit in allowing this riot and protest to happen, because liberals want us to forget the videos that we saw on Twitter where they let those people in. And then when you turn on MSNBC and CNN, they always show the same clip. They show the rowdy crowds, but they don't show what we saw on Twitter, where motherfuckers were giving tours and they was literally like being escorted around the Capitol by the police. You had Capitol Police taking selfies with a lot of these people. You had the Pentagon that was told to stand down. You know why that is? Because this benefits both parties. The Republicans wanted this to happen because they wanted to make it seem like Trump is fighting the election, that the Republicans stood with them in fighting the election. The Democrats wanted it to happen because exactly what we're seeing now, where they are not shutting the fuck up about it. They love January 6th because they are going to fundraise on January 6th for the rest of our goddamn lives. Hope you guys realize that, right? So January 6th is a bunch of white people throwing a tantrum because the police allowed them to, the Pentagon allowed them to, and then it got a little rowdy because, once again, they're white people. And then you had the Capitol Police. The reason why they allowed them in the Capitol was because of racism. Yes, racism. Would they allow Black Lives Matter into the Capitol? Do you guys know what would happen if you have Black Lives Matter or any black-led, indigenous-led, Latino-led protest shown at the Capitol? Those people would have been shot at. They would have been tear gas. They would have been poison gas. They would have been rubber bullets at the snap of a finger. A snap. It would have happened real quick. You would have seen probably the biggest human rights violation in American history if you had a group of black people run up to the Capitol. But what the racism comes in is because the Capitol Police and these politicians, they made the calculation that they're like, okay, these white people, they are an unruly mob, but don't worry, the white people, they will play nice. If we let the white people in, they will play nice. And they was wrong. The Capitol Police, the Pentagon, the politicians made the calculation that they let the white people do the political stunt, it will be okay. And ever since then, ever since January 6th, they've been covering their tracks. You notice with the January 6th investigations, are they investigating the Pentagon? Are they trying to get the people from the Pentagon who didn't respond? Are they trying to get them fired? Are they trying to get the Capitol Police who let the people in? Are they trying to get them fired? Are they trying to hold the police accountable that was literally letting the protesters in? No. In fact, they fund the incompetent police that allowed this to happen more. They are going after the people because they got to make an example out of them. They got to cover their tracks because they were complicit in this happening. And it makes no sense to me why anyone left of center would go along with this bullshit. Because what I just laid out to right here is obvious to me. They thought the white people would play nice. The white people did not play nice. And now they've been backpedaling else. And they are like, oh, we got to go after these protesters. Oh, we got to go after the insurrectionists. Go after the fucking cops that was complicit in making this happen. Go after the Pentagon. Those are the people you should be going after. And to be clear, I don't give a fuck about the protesters. Fuck them. I don't care. But you're not seeing me fucking like clutching my pearls over this. Because I know what will happen. There was a black crowd that tried to march in the Capitol Police. We will be shot and killed. But you want me to, oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe they trying to overthrow them. You look like clowns to me, guys. When people say that shit, you look like clowns. Leslie asked a good question. She asked me about January 6th, and that would make me pop off, right? That's exactly what made me pop. So you guys understand where I'm coming from now, right? So this is the thing. This is the last thing I will say about January 6th. I was willing to allow liberals. I was willing to allow people to have January 6th derangement syndrome. I was willing to leave them alone. Why am I speaking out against it now? The second that they used January 6th to fund the police more, then it became personal. Because as far as I'm concerned, lock up all the Trump people. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the Trumpers. I don't give a fuck about them. But the second you guys use this to fund the forces of oppression that's killing us the most, that's when it became personal. That's when I felt compelled to speak out about this nonsense. That's a great question to wrap up. I will be back probably tomorrow. I'm going to try to do this in the evening. My thing is I try not to step on the time of FHL host. So I think RJ has Revolutionary Jargon tomorrow. Make sure you guys watch RJ's show. But I think I'm going to do a stream tomorrow. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do a stream tomorrow. So I'm going to do these more often. A lot of you guys who've been OG supporters know that I love these kind of shows. I hope you have a lot of fun engaging with me and listening to my rants. But hit the notifications. Subscribe on Twitch because that's how you get let you know when we're going live. I just try not to go live at the same time as FHL does. But I definitely see myself going live tomorrow as well. So please support the show. The algorithm is not going to help me. So if you guys share my YouTube, Social CMA, if you share the Twitch, that helps me out a lot. And once again, I am an independent citizen journalist. So the best way to support me is not through YouTube, is not through Twitch, it's through the Patreon here. So please support my independent work. Patreon on Social CMA. Also, any donation to my Social CMA Venmo or Cash App is greatly appreciated because I want to do more on the ground stuff. I want to talk to people in the street and report on what I talk to these people about and continue to do a good show for you guys. And I'm dealing with just normal laptop, shitty equipment. The more my show is supported, the more people support my show, and I can get better equipment. Like I don't got a good webcam. I just got this mic that's okay. I don't got great internet. But supporting my show is how I can actually upgrade the stuff, so it'll be easier for you guys to watch. I know my production value is pretty ghetto. I'm 100% acknowledging of that, but that's because I was just now getting started off. So, much appreciate for all you guys for supporting me, especially since this is my first stream on my individual channel in a while. But I promise you guys I'm going to get more consistent because I want this format. I love Fred Hector Leftist. I love having guests on. I love doing round tables and all that stuff. But I really think this format is what I thrive the best at, when I just break down news stories. I still got 3 more stories, but I'm going to get to those tomorrow. Thank you guys for checking me out. This is Nick, Social CMA. We sign out. Take care, guys.